Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? DB and Pat coming at you for the Waste Management Phoenix Open from a bed in our hotel in Scottsdale. This is the DFS show, and this is the best we could do. Just two married straight males in a bed
hanging out in a bed,
doing a podcast. Look, Mom, look how far your baby boys come.
Look what we did. We did a thing, and here's where we got to because of what we've done and all the hard work we put in.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
But, it's going to be an exciting week, DB Waste Management. First time we've ever been here on site, and
We should turn your gain up a little more. Can you turn your gain up a little more? What's the thumbs down?
There.
A thumbs down?
Yeah.
We're not live, are we? Dear God. No, we're not live. I don't know. Listen, we don't normally do podcasts on the road. So did I bring a second camera? No.
Mm-mm.
Did I bring an interface that can handle two microphones? No. Also, now your gain's a little too loud. Can you turn it down just a little notch? Did I bring a second microphone? No, I did not. So, we improvise. But this is how committed we are to the cause of bringing you very under-researched, possibly underwhelming DFS plays.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes that's the best week we have is when we kind of shoot from the hip a little bit more, and I think we've got some good plays. If you didn't hear the betting show, we had a lot of similar. I can't hold your thing.
No.
Anyway, I think if you haven't heard the betting show, we had a lot of great plays, some similarities that we liked. So maybe a few differences this show, but we'll see. But who knows?
I've been traveling all day, so I've had no chance. I'm a Delta guy. I flew American today because it was cheaper, and Tour Junkies is trying to save some costs at the moment. So actually, that's a great reason for everybody to check out the Discord and join the Discord. By the way, the Discord had major showdown hits over the week. We had our boy Dylan take down a showdown contest. Vince Money Mark pulled down a third-place finish for $10K in the showdown contest. Our guy Byron Model Maniac's been crushing it in there, doing the showdown stuff. So if you're not in the Discord, I don't know what you're doing. Link is in the description. But anyway, oh, yeah, I had to fly American, which is not a bad airline. It's not a bad airline. But you have to pay for internet. Delta now has free Wi-Fi, free basic Wi-Fi for everybody. Yeah. You can't, stream off of it, but it's free basic-ass internet. And, I refuse to pay for it on American Airlines today. So I don't have any research done. I have no research. So this is all very, very much a gut call. But we're here at the tournament. I mean, we're going to be out there all day tomorrow, all day Wednesday. We're going to talk to a lot of players, a lot of caddies. We're going to walk the course. We'll be far more informed for the Discord chat on Wednesday night than we are right now anyway. So really, there's not much point in people watching or listening to this show.
No, I mean, well, I wouldn't say no point at all. But yeah, the Discord chat Wednesday is going to be fantastic. Getting in the Discord, and don't we have a special channel in the Discord for being on the grounds?
Yeah, we have a waste management content channel.
Yeah, so we'll have that channel running, and then of course the chat on Wednesday night. But and of course our social media feeds and all that kind of stuff. We'll have a lot of good content going. And other than that, though, I think the big news too is a couple withdrawals.
Oh yeah, Xander and Vic. Rumor is Vic might have a little. I mean, it's a rumor.
Got a live itch.
Oh no! Oh well, no, that could be it too. He's got a wrist injury.
Oh.
Yeah, he was spotted with some tape on his wrist, Pat.
Okay. Well, anytime there's, somebody is having a last minute withdrawal, the immediate thought is live.
Oh, yeah, now. I mean, yeah.
But I don't think Xander's going. Vic.
I could actually see Xander going before Vic.
Maybe so. I don't know. But anyway, those are two big names that are not in the field.
This is good practice for me with the microphone doing this because we're going to be doing that with players and people on the grounds at the Waste Management. And we don't always, work the mic like this where you,
I'm really bad at that, which is why
you are terrible at that. We've done videos and Pat's, interviewing somebody. He's like, so what do you think?
Well,
And then they're talking, and then you're like, Pat, put the microphone. So anyway, this is good practice.
yeah,
Now it's my turn.
good job.
Now it's my turn.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, let's get started. This is probably going to be a terrible show, but let's see. We're both sharing our bet the number screen right here in front of me. I haven't even looked at prices. I don't know what's going on. Let me sort it by prices here. All right. So apparently, oh dear, oh dear. This is the result of withdrawals right here. You have Scotty Scheffler at 11.6.
Is that right?
And then there's a $1,600 gap and only two
Are you
people
sure?
above 9,900.
Let me double check this with my phone because I just don't understand how that can happen.
Xander and Vic have been removed from the field on Bet the Number, it seems. So that's interesting. I mean, Justin Thomas and Scotty, two of the best course history plays in the field. If you buy into the course history thing, Scotty's back-to-back defending champion. JT's form is incredible right now. Great plays here in the past. And they're the top two, but you get a $1,600 discount on a JT thanks to
That's right. It's right because we have Bet the Number has removed Xander, who was at 10-4, and so it goes straight from the 11-6 to JT, which doesn't give us a whole lot to talk about in the over 10K range, which is good for us to see.
I mean, will anybody play Scheffler? Surely, yeah, they will because he's back-to-back defending champion. They'll be played.
Yeah.
I love both of those guys, though. I mean,
But
Scotty
I
and
think
JT.
if we're gonna talk about where the chalk gonna be, it's gonna be all over JT. I think when you look at JT, we talked about him on the betting show.
We could see him tomorrow, literally covered in dusty chalk.
Yes, he could be. Like he is his odds have shortened. So obviously not
Steaming?
yeah, he's steaming there. But I would say I think JT is definitely going to be the highest owned player in the field, which is weird to say based off of what we've been seeing from him last year. Now, not this year. This year he's been fantastic. I think he's really trending towards a potential win. Plays great here. I mean, literally top 15s every year over the last 5 years and top 10s in his last two events. Justin Thomas, to me, I will play him even if he's chalky. I'll go double JT.
Wow. What if I'm guessing at who the least popular player is in the 9K range? Probably Cameron Young, I would say. Right? Like he's only played here twice. Not that great. Sucked at Pebble Beach, which is not a great course for him. This is a better spot for him. By the way, if you want more information on the golf course, key stats, trends at the course, player quotes, all that kind of stuff. I dropped that video on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts, course breakdown video, everything you need to know, nothing you don't, about 20 minutes. But I mean, he had the lead in Dubai, I think, going into round 4, coughed it up. But he's gonna be the guy who's ignored here, I'm pretty sure. So you are normally a guy who is suckered into Cam Young. What are you gonna do when you see Cam Young this week and he's we approach the Wednesday Night Live Discord shit show chat. We'll be, I'm sure, pounding drinks in the same room and with hot takes abounding. What are you gonna do when you see him at like 9%?
Yeah, I mean Cam Young is he's a gentleman I like to play sometimes.
Please don't look at me when you say that. Don't look at me.
I like to play him, but the problem is that he's just not showing you a whole lot of upside, in my opinion. Man, I could see him finishing this golf tournament, T30, T35. But do you feel like you're really getting much out of him with that? I mean, he's got all the potential in the world, but until we see him actually contend in an event for a win, outside, in this country, then I think I'll probably avoid him. I've kind of got look, I love Cam Young. I think he's got so much talent, but I've started just sort of distance myself from Cam Young for right now. We're on a little bit of a break. and so I think I'm not gonna play Cam Young. It's kind of like him and Eric Cole. I'm gonna break with Eric Cole. Now we're not in the 8K
Oh, I
range,
didn't know that.
but I'm still in a break with him. But um, in this range though, in the 9K range, I like Jordan.
I was
Sorry.
just about to ask you, like, Jordan is in an interesting spot because you've got like he's got some course history. He's boomer bust with the history thing. He's boomer bust right now. Um, I think Burns is somebody who's trending, who's steaming. We talked about him on the Outright show. Homa's going to be popular. Homa and Wyndham Clark, both your local, Scottsdale adjacent residents, right in the 9K and above range. So you got the two studs at the top. Homa, Burns, all getting chalk. Sung Jae's going to get some love. People are going to want to play Sahith. Jordan, I'm not sure what to do with Jordan. I don't know what to do.
Well, I think if you don't know what to do, you just go ahead and play him.
Don't touch the mic. Just hold your beer. I got the mic. Just you don't have to. It's less you have to be concerned about.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to get up in a minute and get another one of these. But these are good. They're, by the way, podcast use tonight is the Corona Premiere, which is
Big healthy boy show here.
a healthy boy, low carbs, very light beer. But you know what? They go down pretty smooth and fast. But yeah, I think Jordan could be a DFS play for sure. He's a guy that has played this golf tournament a lot. He likes to play here. Um, so I think Jordan, to me, and I don't see him having a ton of ownership. I really don't. Now, right above him, and you just mentioned Sam Burns, I like him. And I don't usually get on that Sam Burns train, but I said this on the Outright show. I've got a little burn. I've got a burn inside me, and I need to do something about it. It's like when you have a burn, you put some cortisone on it.
All right, I think you're done with this. Let me just move on. God, a burn inside you, laying on the bed, laying on a strange bed with another man, is not what I want this podcast to be about. Let me ask you this. Scott. Well, I'm not going to ask you, but with Victor and Xander out of the way, Homa kind of disappointed some people with his T66 at Pebble. There's always the there's a ton of local connections here to Scottsdale. And there's always the argument of like, hey, when it's your home game, like we'll see our boy Joel tomorrow or Wednesday. Joel lives here too. When it's your home game, it can kind of go one of two ways. Sleeping in your own bed, having the family around can definitely help. But it also means more demand on your time, tickets, friends, cousins, all that stuff gets weird, right? So some guys respond better than others. Holmes had some good finishes here. He's had some kind of middling finishes here. The top end of this field has suffered from some withdrawals with Xander and Victor, as we just mentioned. Could this be another possible in DFS? Could you just fade the 9K range and above? Fade everybody. What if are there any lineups where you feel like you could start them at maybe just one guy in the 9K or none and start a lineup in the 8K range and go balanced and hope you really dodge some bullets? Now, I haven't looked at the lower seven. I haven't looked at anything. I literally looked at nothing. So I don't know what the lower sevens or the 6K look like to see how chalky that's going to be in terms of builds. Are people going to really? I mean, I do think JT and Scotty are going to be, but can we afford to just erase the whole range and start with somebody in this 8K range?
No.
I think you might be able to in a couple line.
I don't. Maybe a couple lineups, but I don't think that you can avoid everybody above 9,000. I just don't see that happening. To me, I would rather drop down. Like I said, I'm going to play JT a lot anyway, so that already crosses out your theory there. But if I were not to play JT, I still could see me dropping down and playing a lot of Jordan here, some Sam Burns here. Now some of these other guys, I probably will. I don't know. I like Sahith too. Not going to play Wyndham. I know he's coming off of that great, show at Pebble Beach where he lucked into a win. Despite I know he shot 60. I get it, but I just hate when they get wins and they don't have to play a full event.
Yeah.
Unless you're, Joaquin Neiman and
God.
and PB.
By the way, I took down fourth place in the Live Dogleg this weekend. Fourth place. Yeah, yeah.
How much win?
I just barely doubled my money. So DK, can we make the Live contests a little bit? Can we bump them up a notch, just a little bit? Okay, I want to ask you on Sahith, and then we'll move on to the 8K range. Sahith interests me. He's gained almost 10 strokes putting at the Waste Management in just 2 attempts. We all saw him break out in 2022. Could have won. I think he didn't he hit it in the water on 17. Yeah, I think he hit the hybrid in the water on 17. He was juiced up. The hybrid got to the water on 17. But he's still a guy that pretty much lives and dies by the putter. But he's definitely a guy, we talked about this on the betting show, guys that embrace the atmosphere at the Waste Management. We're going to get our first taste of that atmosphere this year. So he's going to have that narrative working for him. He's going to have, T20 at Pebble's not bad. Runner-up at the Century, we all knew he came down to the wire there at the Century for him. Do you I have a small amount of me that's a little concerned about just continuing to live and die, especially if he's popular on a $9,100 popular Sahith.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sahith is, but he's also, you kind of have to live and die by Sahith anyway.
Right, but 9,100, and I'm also saying I think he might also be popular. So like, he's not $8,200 Sahith at 13%. He might be. He's now $9,100 Sahith at maybe 17 or 18%.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some concern there, but again, this is a course where he's obviously performed well on before. We did see him earlier this year almost win a golf tournament, finishing second at the Century. So I like just where he's at, and I think when we saw in the fall with that win that it just feels like when the doors kind of opened up for Sahith, there's more wins down the line. This is a golf tournament that I think he certainly can win. And we've seen course history here to me means a little more than some of the other golf tournaments. You've seen some guys that course history has certainly been a thing here, and that's why you've got guys like JT who's played here so much, and Scotty Scheffler's won it 2 times in a row. So I think Sahith being
Brooks has won it twice. Hideki's won it twice.
A lot of guys, did Bubba never won it?
Bubba won here.
Yeah.
He did not win here twice.
Yeah, but he did win here. So these guys that when they get on courses like this where they've had success before, I think Sahith, could certainly win this. Has a lot of upside. So if there is some ownership now, if it's like 20% or so, I may hold back a little bit, but still, I think you play him anyway.
All right, let's move to the 8K range, Pat. Before we do, I want to thank our friends at Swannies. Swannies Golf established the same year the Tour Junkies were established. We met those guys PGA show years ago. Never knew, but always hoped our paths would cross again. We appreciate our friends at Swannies. You need to check them out if you haven't already. Yeah, do it, Pat. Do the damn thing there. Swannies is fantastic. They're just fantastic people. Link in the description. Oh, that's so bad. My bad. Yeah, you're doing a great job with that. How you're doing that. That's great. Yep, link in the description of the show. And the beauty about Swannies is, man, dang, these people are like, look, we appreciate the TJs and the fans. TJ 25 gets you 25% off your entire order, and you can use it over and over again, like meatloaf. Over and over.
I just remembered.
What?
Why don't you have your PO?
Pat always makes me. You know what? You know what? Fuck you, Pat. You want to shame me. Pat likes to shame me because my neck hurts a lot. I have neck issues. And I like to bring my pillow when I travel. And Pat's always like, oh, DB, where's your PO? Where's your PO? First of all, I don't call it that. I'm not a baby. But also, I'm 40 and my neck hurts. So I do bring I have a great pillow at home. I have a great pillow. We should be sponsored by this pillow company. And it's a great pillow. And so it does help me, but I did not bring it because it was too much to carry. Airports are filthy. I just didn't do it. I thought about it. I did think about it. And I just didn't do it. But if my neck hurts this week, it's because I don't have my pillow.
All right.
Not my pillow. Anyway, thank you to Swannies. TJ25, link in the description. 8K range. Let's talk about it. You got more guys in the 8K range than do the 9 and 10K range, all the way from JT Poston down to Adam Hadwin. Byung-Hun An's getting a lot of chatter. I've already seen on Twitter. He's getting a lot of outright attention. We talked about him. We're going to talk to our boy Ben on. We already confirmed that. I think he's giddy to talk to us. He's a great guy. He loves us. He really does. Minwoo Lee's going to be popular as ever. This is like the range of popular players. Like Poston's been killing it. He's off to a great start this year. Ben-On's popular. Minwoo's popular. People love Tom Kim. They might avoid him. Just not really a lot of history to speak of. Not the greatest showing to start 2024. Eric Cole's always popular. Hideki's going to be popular because of the record here. More people played Adam Scott last week at Pebble than I thought would play him. Ricky's got a great record here, although he's kind of sucked lately. Hostler's steaming. Like, this range is chock full of guys. And this is why I actually do think if you're playing a lot of lineups, I could totally see having lineups that only start in this range. There's a lot of studs in this range.
Yeah, there are. I mean, there definitely are, and there are a lot of guys that have all been playing well.
Like, who do you not like in this range?
I would say I already said I'm on a break with Eric Cole.
Why? Why? Well, now we said it at the Farmers. You said it at the Farmers. He missed the cut, which is a good call. It was a good call, but then he's right back on his horse. T14 after 3 rounds at Pebble Beach. He's right back.
He could have shot in the last round. If they had played it, he could have shot an 80, and it wouldn't have been a T14. Do I think he would have shot an 80? No. Look, he's never played here, so I do think there is a little bit of an experience level here. When you talk about guys, I already mentioned the course history thing here, but Eric Cole has no experience. That concerns me a little bit. I would actually rather play a Hideki right there next to him than play Eric Cole. I tell you what, I don't think.
Now you can hold it so I can get a beer.
Okay. I don't think, you've got Bo Hostler favorited. I can see it on your screen. And I don't see it. Now look, I see the form. I see the form there. But I just can't get behind the whole Bo Hostler thing. I mean, when you look at him in the BTN model, like if you're a stats person like you are, what's really standing out to you? Other than 4th in this field in gave me the mic, I get to hold it. What is that stat? I can't even read what that stat is. Why do you have the computer so far away so I can't read it? Distance from the fairway center. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Well, okay. He might not be checking all the boxes because he's got 3 events here. Amex, there was a shot link issue. Worldwide Technology, Zozo, no shot link. Worldwide, he finishes 15th. Zozo, runner-up. But the irons are improving. And the proof is in the pudding for Bo. Look at the finishes. Like, he's coming.
Yeah. No, I mean, look. It's just one of those things that, I'm not feeling comfortable with Bo. I think a guy like Adam Hadwin, though, which is funny.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because you don't picture this event being a great Adam Hadwin event, but he does have, a pretty decent history here. Top 10 last year, top 30 the year before. Hadwin's kind of, he's playing okay this year. I don't really mind Hadwin a whole lot. I actually was surprised, like you, that so many people played Adam Scott last week.
Yeah,
But
I don't think Adam Scott likes this place.
what Adam Scott likes at all? Like, what does he?
He likes I don't know. I don't think he likes this place. He came here last year because it was an elevated event. He finished 38th. Why he's here this year, I think, is because he's getting his reps on the PGA Tour. This is the first event on the PGA Tour he's played. I can't remember if he played in Dubai. I think he did. He usually does. But I think he's just getting some reps in. I don't think he embraces this. He seems too bland to embrace the waste management. I think I'm out. I'm very fine being out on Adam Scott and Adam Hadwin for that matter. I'm fading both Adams in the 8K range.
So Adam Scott's not going to pull a Joel Damon and take off his shirt on 6.
Who in this range is the most likely to take their shirt off? I actually think it might be Ben On.
I was going to say Tom Kim.
Well, Tom's yeah, Tom's a little pudgy and he's still single, so I don't know that he's gonna want to do that. Like Ben On,
I mean,
like
look at the guys that have done it.
I know, but they're both married.
Joel's married. Who's the other?
Harry Higgs, I think he's married. I'm pretty sure he's married.
Okay, I don't.
But I mean, Tom's like, he's single. He doesn't want to, Anyway, I don't like either of the Hadwins here. I'm not buying Ricky either. I think Ricky's going to be somewhat popular just because he's Ricky at the Waste Management. I don't see any form out of Ricky that's exciting to me. Corey Connors is interesting. He's just kind of done nothing so far in 2024. But we've seen shit putters win here. He's a shit putter for sure. And I don't think, let's see, in 4 attempts here, he's gained strokes twice with 2 really bad years. It would be kind of a let me bank on the putter being neutral situation, but the ball striking is just so good with Corey. But I'm interested. Hideki, I'm usually a sucker. We talked about this last week. Like, I'm a sucker for low-owned Hideki. When Hideki's popular, I usually don't do it. So he's probably going to be popular. I'm in on Connors.
Wait, why do you say?
Because of the record, his course history here. Like, everybody's going to do it. Yeah. Connors I like as a pivot. I think Connors is not going to be that high-owned. I love Bo Hostler. We know that. I am in on Ben On. And Poston, like, God, we're going to need accountability partners with Poston because we're going to hang out with him. We're going to talk. We've both walked in the ropes with Poston before. I've done it maybe more than you have because I get to go to more events than you. And he's such a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
And you just watch him and you're like, God dang it. Like, you're like, how does this guy not... You're like, how does this guy not win every week? And then he's playing so good. And so what's going to happen is, like, right now we're going to be like, we could see. But then we're going to hang out with them, and Wednesday night we're going to be like, God, we love JT Poston. But he's going to be popular. You know what I mean?
I don't know how popular he's going to be.
A 5th, a 6th, an 11th, and a 20th in 4 starts in 2024 with a good record, he's going to be hella popular.
I'm with you now.
I mean, he is. We're going to have to find out, like, what's happened. Like, what corner... Let me just look at this. What corner has he turned? Is it just the putter is just so... Look at the putting splits on JT.
Well, but let me go back in there. I want to see something there. Yeah, I mean, approach numbers have been he was so good at the Sony Open on approach and so good off the tee, right? Or tee to green. But still, yeah, I think I don't know. It'll be hard to not play JT and like you couldn't completely fade JT this week.
I don't know. We'll see.
I betting show, but only because I had to, because that was part of the season long bet. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, I think that's the 8K range.
Yeah,
We're moving right along. Listen, if you haven't already, you need to get into the Underdog season-long PGA Tour drafts because that stuff is starting. It's starting this week. The Underdog drafts are. So if you've drafted a bunch of teams, be prepared. The sweat starts. It starts this week. It starts on Thursday.
why did you add
It's on both. It just takes a second, Patrick. You let me do the technology. You sit there and drink a beer. This is the same as we do every Monday night. Now you've made me lose my train of thought. The best ball is available almost everywhere, almost every state. You can play Underdog Best Ball. It's fantastic stuff. I did some Underdog Best Ball live drafts on the YouTube channel and the podcast stream. You can check those out. The most recent one is very informative, but I highly recommend you do it. The contests have been filling up rapidly. I don't even know, even as of this recording, there may not even be spots available, but you need to check it out. Link in the description if you haven't already signed up for Underdog and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. $100 make a holla. All right, now Pat, 7K range. I'm sure this is going to be full of surprises, because we've not looked at this shit. I don't know what's going on. Our sweet South Korean prince, Siwoo Kim, is right up there at the top at 7,900. He's had some decent finishes. He's improved here every year. I like that. I like to see that at Waste Management. We'll talk to Siwoo. We'll see how he feels. I mean, this isn't, Siwoo. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is a great spot for Siwoo, but iron play's been pretty solid the last few events. We'll have to ask him. Maybe we'll ask him if he's figured something out with the old irons. That could be.
Do you think? I mean, there's a little bit of a trend here in 2022 and in 2023 with T26 and 22, T23 last year, so playing a little bit better. Siwoo is gathering steam as far as the legend of Siwoo Kim. And here he is in a place where if you've got a little bit of legend behind you and you got the fans behind you, you got to think that he loves that atmosphere and he likes it. He probably feels the energy of the people who are just loving some Siwoo. Maybe he's turned the corner here, and this is an event that he can win.
That's possible.
He's amongst his people.
God, could you imagine? We've been doing Tour Junkies for 9 years, and Siwoo is our guy. And then the first year we come to the Waste Management, he wins the Waste Management.
It would be absolutely fantastic, and I think he could do it. So I think Siwoo could be a play up here. He's at 7,900. I like the price. I don't think he's going to be super high owned. I would probably say you'll probably get him around like 9 or 10%. I think Siwoo is very much in play in this range, as is. I'm going to give you two others that I really like before you talk. Akshay Bhatia.
Damn it, no. I know.
I get Akshay.
I have the microphone in my hand.
You all right? Then I'll let you talk, Akshay. I want to drop down though and talk to like a guy that I just absolutely love this week. Tommy Dietrich.
Tommy?
He'll win.
No,
actually, I don't know if he could win because Tommy Fleetwood doesn't win.
Tommies just don't win on the PGA Tour.
Tom Dietrich. I'm gonna say Tom Dietrich as in THOM. He spells his name THOM. Tom Dietrich. Is gonna play well this week. Look, man, the guy's trending. He had the top 20 at the Farmers, T4 last week at Pebble Beach. Hits it a long way off the tee. He's going to check a lot of boxes this week. When you look at the BTN model, he is 31 in the BTN model.
No, this is my model. I added some things to the BTN model.
I didn't know that. Anyway, in the DB model, you look at his putting. 3 events this year, gained strokes in all 3 of those events. His gained strokes at last 2 tournaments off the tee. I think Thomas Dietrich is very much in play this week. I like him at that number 7,600. I think you play him, DB.
I like that. I actually like him too.
Get a lot of ownership out of Dietrich.
Yeah, and I love Akshay. I like he is number one. Well, this was I did some favoriting beforehand, but the irons are clicking with Akshay right now. In the last 24 rounds, he leads the field in strokes gained approach from 125 to 175. It's one thing I love about Bet the Number is you can get strokes gain data on proximity yardage buckets, not just proximity, which is a horribly flawed stat. And Akshay is number one in that category. He also hits the long irons pretty good. Gain strokes off the tee. I just think Akshay's solid. 13th at the Sony, 13th at the Farmers. Never played here before, but I got to imagine this is a place that Akshay will very much embrace. So pumped about that. There's a few other names here. I don't want to name all of them, but Detri's one that I agree with you. I kind of like Detri. I like Keith Mitchell working down in the $7,500 range. Just feels like a guy who is coming. Like it feels like the form is coming. He's been on the outside of those key like FedEx Cup numbers. He didn't have the best year last year. Coming in as kind of a guy who's got to scrap and fight and claw for a few things, and I think that's been good for Keith. He's had some good finishes here. He's had some bad finishes here. He's kind of one of those guys who's boomer bust in a lot of ways, but I think this place suits him nicely. He ranks quite highly in the model that I put together on BTN. All right. So working down the board a little more in the $78,000 or $7,000 range. Who are some other names that you're feeling here?
Couple others that I like. I think I'm going back to Hubs, Mark Hubbard. We'll see him this week. You look at he's another guy kind of trending like Dietrich, T4 at Pebble Beach, which I think he could have won. I had him at 201 on my betting card. Now he was 3 shots back going into Sunday, but still Hubs. I think he's playing well. Top 20 the week before that at the Farmers. He's played here twice, and he has a T10 or T9 and T30.
3 times. It's the cut last year.
Oh, you had it hovering. That was you. You did it on purpose. By the way, that's another thing I like about BTN is the way we color code things there in the in the form in the history thing. There's a lot of red, by the way, in all these guys in the 7K range. Like lots of miscuts, all it's scattered in top tens and everything else. But anyway, I do like Mark Hubbard. Another guy that I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, Kevin Yu. Man, the dude is he's here. He's here. Now I know you want to talk about Kevin Yu too because he's got a lot of connections. Played at Arizona State, right? So Kevin Yu, I think this could be a great place for him. Now he has not played here before.
Dude, he is steaming too. Look at the live outright number on him right now versus this morning when we did the betting show. He was 120 to 1.
Oh, and now
he's at 70 to 1 right now as an outright. Good Lord.
Well, I still like him. Still like him a lot. I think I like him more now in DFS than I do, as an outright. But I do think
No, I like him. I'm very happy with the 120 to 1 we got on the outright. He's going to be now he's going to be chalk in DFS. We know he's going to be chalk.
What I'm saying is if I got the 121, but I like that number better.
You can't play a 10% $7,300 Kevin Yu. That's chalk.
I think he's going to be 10%.
Yes.
Oh.
Like okay. All right. If he were 10% in DFS projections on Wednesday night, we get the aggregate ownership projections in the Discord every Wednesday night. Usually 4 to 6 different websites we pull ownership numbers from. We aggregate those on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday. Let's say he's 10%, which is chalk, pretty much chalk for a $7,300 guy. And Ryan Fox, or literally name any other player in this range, like Ryan Fox, Tom Hoagie, Nick Taylor, and Adam Schenk are 5% or less. What do you do?
I go down to Kurt Kitty. Like Kurt Kitty.
I think Kitty's gonna get some love too, though, huh? Well, like look at Kitty. He's 70 to 1 too. He was like 110 or 120 this morning.
Kitty's getting the steam also, but yeah, he'd be the guy. But if I'm going to go with the names you're talking about, I think that where I would probably go, it sounds crazy, because he hasn't been great this year, but I'd probably look at a guy like Nick Taylor. He finished second here last year.
God, Nick, I had a lot of Nick in Pebble Beach, and he sucked. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would go to Nick. I don't know that I'm ready to get back on.
Go down and get a couple $100 savings too, and go to EVR. I like EVR a lot this week too.
Yeah, I don't mind EVR. In DFS, I mean, we didn't talk about him in the betting show, but in DFS, I kind of like Michael Kim. I like how Michael Kim's trending. If EVR is popular, I don't mind that. Chesson Hadley's playing really well. Look at where he ranks in my model right now, and he's got a T23 and a T20 at this event in the last 5 years. He's coming off a T25 at the Farmers. He ranks 7th in my model right now. Nope, I didn't do it last week at Pebble. I did not.
I just feel like you're a big ball speed guy. You don't care about somebody if they don't have good ball speed.
Are you just sympathizing because you don't have high ball speed?
Yes, I am. I'm a little bit upset about that. I don't know if that necessarily needs to be in the model.
Do we think Gary Woodland's gonna obviously he's coming off of literal brain surgery. Do we think Gary Woodland's gonna be okay?
No. I'm not playing Gary Woodland until I get a little bit bigger of a sample size with what he's look, it's fantastic what he's coming back from. And he was very open about that. I believe at the Sony, which was his first tournament back. And I think he's going to be back. I think he seems healthy. He has shown some flashes of some decent play, but I'm not going to get on, there with Woodland. I will say, beneath him, Austin Eckroat, for some reason, kind of, I just feel a little Austin Eckroat.
Okay, I was going to ask you this, not about him, but I feel the same way about Aaron Rye. Like, why is Aaron Rye a thing? Or why is Austin Eckroat a thing? What is the reason?
I think, well, for Aaron Rye, I think it's because people who tend to watch a lot of golf, which we do, you see him up on the leaderboard at some point, and it's usually like first round. So he's kind of like, I feel like he's always like, if I want to bet a first round leader and I can get a decent number on Aaron Rye, I always want to plug him in there because he seems to kind of like, he's like one of those racehorses where they say, what do they say when they're like fast starters? There's a term for it. Like
they get out the gate hot or something, or they're fast.
They're front runners. Is that what it is?
I don't know. Maybe he needs to join Liv. Would they play a little?
I literally am a. Let me.
Scoot over a little bit, bud.
Anyway, so I think we see Aaron Rye up there on leaderboards. Eckroat, to me, just we've heard so much about the talent that he has. Played with Victor Hovland a lot in college, and Victor talks a lot about how great he is and how he used to basically just kick his ass. So now we know it takes some guys a little bit longer than others to really come into their own out on the PGA Tour. But I think that Austin Eckroat has just all the talent in the world to be able to, win golf tournaments out here, play well. He's played here once before. He did make the cut. Has the top 25 at the American Express, which might be a more Austin Eckroat style tournament where you're, kind of wide open scoring type tournament. But look, made the, what was he, T37 at the Farmers on a very hard golf course. I think Eckroat is certainly makes some sense down there at 7,000.
Okay. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with the 7K range. Let's do a 6K draft, shall we? And when we haven't even looked at it. Actually, let's see. I like going down to, our boy Patton Kazire and Dynamite Dean Emerson qualified Monday qualified today. And it was a brutal Monday qualifier. I think it was like 103 guys, 3 spots. 3 spots. That's it. Patton Kazire had, I think, like 6 birdies, an eagle, and a bogey. Jim Knaus, I hate his last name. Like, literally my least favorite last name of all professional golf. What the do you do with KNOUS?
You sure the K's not silent?
Okay, if it is silent, how do you say it?
Noose.
That's inappropriate for 2024. But anyway, I just don't think I don't like that guy. I don't like Jim Knaus because I don't understand his name. Now I will say this, Alexander Bjork. What if they? Will you pull up your app? What is he? Is he priced in the field yet? Because he's really good. If he's like min price, he could be an interesting play. And is Kazire priced yet? Also, your boy Bud Colley's down here at 6K min price. They may not be added to the field yet. Kazire, Bjork, not added yet. Well, you're fat thumbing the DFS entry. Okay. Anyway, it was a hell of a Monday qualifier. 103 guys, 3 spots. Kazire, Knaus, and one other person I can't remember right now. Maybe it's in here somewhere.
You know who played in the Monday qualifier?
Who?
Hisatunsei!
Hisatunsei!
Hisatunsei! You missed out. Damn it. All right, let's go ahead.
Yeah, we were hoping we get to see Hisatunsei. You also have J.B. Holmes and Kevin Stadler playing here, former winners at 6,000. If you would like to play either one of those dick holes. Let's see. All right, well, Joel's here, Scottsdale resident, 6,300. I think Ryan Moore's a Vegas guy. I'm just naming names in the 6K range. I'm just familiarizing myself with the range here, Pat. Ooh. All right, let's see. Okay, I'll start. You ready? I will start with 6K draft. I will start with, you know what? I'm going Luke List. Like, Luke List should play well here. Bomb it off the tee. Just don't. Wait a minute. Why did I click him? Hold on. I'm getting cross-eyed here. I've had too many drinks. Luke List is the 7K range.
How do you mistaking KH Lee for Luke List?
Hold on.
I was like, why are you sitting here looking at him like...
Never mind. I'm going to go Jake Knapp.
Love that.
Jake Knapp.
Sweet thing. What is the deal with the KNs?
Jake Knapp. I'm going with him. We're going to try to track him down. We talked about him on the betting show. We're going to try to track him down here on site at TPC Scottsdale, see if we can make friends with Jake, because he just swings it so smooth but hits it so fucking far.
I didn't know he was sponsored by that Penguin company.
Original Penguin. I love Original Penguin.
Cam Smith. All right. So if you're going to take him, because I was really thinking about him, I'm going to go with Sam Ryder at 6,900. And now this is, we know I'm such a big course history guy, and he if you look at the last 5 years, he's made the cut every single year with top 25s the last 2 years. This year, kind of an average year, but missed the cut at the Farmers, T31 at Pebble Beach. He's always going to kind of check some boxes here when you look at his his approach play. Great putter. Now you've already said you don't have to be an absolutely fantastic putter here, but it does help a little bit. So I'll go Sam Ryder at 6,900.
I'm gonna buy a little course history with you, Pat. I'm gonna go Scott Stallings. We might talk to Scott this week. Gain some strokes with the irons, both at the Sony and at the Farmers, which is nice. Nice to see out of Scott. Plays here well. Last 3 years. I said plays well. Plays well here. He is at $6,700. He is Mr. Scott Stallings. I will take him.
Okay, good for you. All right, next for me, this is getting This is very tough. This is a very tough 6K draft. Go up a little bit on the screen there. How about this, DB? I'm gonna go with I actually am gonna go with the guy that you went off of earlier, KH Lee. I'm gonna go with KH Lee. KH Lee has played here, a decent amount. Is that the yeah. He had a T2 here. This we call him TPC Lee, right? So I mean, you look at, he's checking some boxes. He's a good putter. What else is he good at? He's good on approach. So I'm going to take.
This is terrible analysis.
It's hard to see this.
God. All right, I'm taking Bud Cauley at 6,000. I'm going medical exemption. He finished 14th at the 2021 Safeway Open. Or whatever.
Things are really awesome.
I'm going Bud Cauley. Who's your last pick?
All right, my last pick is B Woo, Brandon Wu. And I'm just really only going him because he's made a lot of cuts this season. So
I like B Woo. I had B Woo at the Pebble. He didn't do very well. All right, well, I think oh boy. I think that's it. This has been a terrible show. We will be back in it. We'll be back on it next week, but we'll be probably tired and still angry.
It'll be we'll be tired like everybody else though in the country because it's the day after the Super Bowl. Yes. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to do anything. I still wish they would have the Super Bowl on a Saturday, but I get why it's on a Sunday. I understand it's tradition, but it still ticks me off. If you're gonna have, you know what? I think President's Day is the day after the Super Bowl this year, which a lot of people have that day as a Monday holiday.
President's Day is in January.
Hang on. I was counting on this. Hang on. Well, never mind then. Oh, President's Day is in February, but it's the following Monday.
What the why would they not put President's Day on this Monday?
Why would you not do it? Make it the 12th. That's everything is so stupid in the daylight savings time or whatever. Whichever
calendar people are screwing us.
I don't understand. Don't they understand the people out there that want to have cocktails on a Sunday and don't want to work on a Monday? Damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be out there. Waste Management, check it out. If you're there, let's have a good time. Holler at us. We're going to play some golf with some listeners on Friday. Pumped to do that. Dobson Ranch. Shout out to them for supporting us. Having a few TJ groups out there at Dobson Ranch. Beautiful little muni right here around the Scottsdale area. You might catch us in the media center. We might throw out a few random questions. I know Bud Cauley's first up at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Pat, do you have any thoughts about your first personal in the wild interaction with a guy who, really popped your DFS cherry back in the 2016, 2017 season? You played him a lot. You were always a fan of Bud Cauley.
Yeah.
And you're going to get to talk to him tomorrow morning. What have you prepared any questions for Bud and just overall thoughts about talking to your hero tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. It's amazing to be able to talk to him. I think the questions will come to me about 2:30 a.m. this evening when I get up to go to the potty. That's about when the questions.
The potty? Hold on. You want to make fun of me for bringing my PO, and you're going to get up at 2:30 to go to the potty?
To the restroom? That's when the questions will come, and they're going to be hard hitting.
You're going to no. Are you okay? Are you going to commit right now that you will ask a question to Bud Cauley?
If we make it in time in there, I will.
We should make it in time. There should be no problem. It's 11 a.m.
I know, but we have things to do in the AM. So
no, we don't. We have nothing to do specifically. I'm saying right now, if you're in the room, you will commit because you when we've been in this situation before.
No, I will ask Bud Cauley a question.
What are you going to ask?
I don't know yet. I told you it might be when I'm on the potty.
I think you need. I think you need to give this more
thought. Would you like me to ask?
I don't know, but I think you need to give it more thought than the day before, the day of, technically at 2:30 on the potty. I think you should think about.
I've got a little. As soon as I leave here, I got a little drive. I'll think about it.
All right. All right, that's it. I hope your screens are green this week, because if they are, it won't be for anything that we told you at this show. But we had a good time doing it, and it's going to be a great week of Waste Management. Can't wait. May your screens be green. The Super Bowl is going to be great. Our friend Kenny McAndrew stopped by on the betting show. Check that out if you haven't already. We talked about some Super Bowl prop bets you need to hit. See in the Discord. Let's keep the hot Discord train a-rolling. All right. Thanks to our friends at Swannies, Underdog, Bet the Number. Let's have a week. May your screens be green. See ya. Out.